Ba-doo. How's it going, everybody? Mr. Holton here. How you guys doing? Yeah. Is it running? Yeah, I think it's running. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna jump right into it in just a moment. I'm just gonna start this up on Twitch as well. There we go, I think. How you guys doing today? We're back again. I was gonna just, stream on Friday, but this just came to me. And I feel like I want to catch this while it's still fresh. So in case you guys are like interested in Exodus, the game that I've talked about before, that's kind of like a spiritual successor to Mass Effect. In the eyes of many fans, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a spiritual successor to Mass Effect to the makers of Exodus, but a lot of people see it that way. It's gotten a new, I wouldn't call it update, but we're getting we got some new material. I just wanted to do a quick live stream here, so this is not going to be very long. But I want us to take a look at it because I think it looks really, really cool. Distorted, how you doing? Watching from work, damn. Highly anticipated the game, same here. I'm all in on Exodus, man. Just in a moment, guys. Just gonna get this thing fixed. There we go. Bronwyn, how you doing? How you doing? By the way, just get in here, guys. Get in here before I change the window here. Get in here, okay? We need to talk about this. So at first, I need to give some credit to this user on Reddit. Which was Deadly Toast, who just updated Exodus Steam page with the new screenshots. And yeah, we've gotten quite a few new screenshots. Just, a cleaner look at the game. And I gotta say, it's looking pretty good. This is the first one. This is an image from the trailer that we've seen before, where June, the main character, is reaching out for the Livestone here. I think this is the point where June gets like the power to use Livestone. And Livestone, if you don't know what that is, that's essentially Exodus's version of Biotics. So it allows June to like manipulate technology that is like ancient and stuff like that. And so you're gonna have like, it's sort of like your power wheel, I guess. That's essentially what it is. So I think this is the part where, he connects with it. Again, we've seen this from the trailer, but still it's cool to see a different angle to it. It looks like the lighting is actually pretty sweet. Just, looking at the details of June here, you can definitely see that this is in-game, of course, in-game graphics. So that's cool. Wow, last time I was this fast, I had a baby. Damn, Omid. Reldy, let's go. How's it going? Yeah, it's going pretty swell. I'm pretty excited for this. When I saw this, I was like, yeah, let's go. What, Lils, what? How you doing? Welcome. Charlotte? Yeah, yes, cannot wait for this. Same. Okay, let's move to the next one. Here is another shot. And these seem pretty uninteresting for now. We're gonna get to the more exciting bits in a moment. See some energy weapons being used here. I'm guessing that, okay, that's Elise. That's one of the squad mates or companions we're going to be able to pick up. And then this guy over here is probably the guy from the trailer who is shooting a plasma or a laser rifle. I'm glad to see that there's actually going to be like lasers and shit, because that's what I need for my sci-fi games. The official Twitter account just posted the listing. Oh, they did. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's gameplay. This is gameplay. This is not visualization. These are like in-game shots. Because they're on Steam, they've updated the Steam store, which means that we're probably getting close, guys. We're probably closer than we thought we were. Elemental Freak 2, how you doing? Welcome. Exodus versus Expanse, who's a win in your opinion? Oof, that's hard. I don't know if I can decide that because, I've been watching all of the Expanse show, and it's fucking tremendous. It's amazing. I think it's really sad that they haven't continued with the show because it's really, really good. Before, I would probably say Exodus. Right now, though, I don't know. It's a toss-up because, man, I'm looking forward to the expands as well. Okay, this one, we can see Elise here. She's got a new haircut. I don't know if it's like an alternate haircut you can pick for her, but I gotta say, she looks better in this one. She also has this little, I don't know what this is. Some sort of, what do you call that? Collar? That's the guy from the trailer. I keep forgetting his name. Tom, I think it is. And then June here. So that's cool. Very nice, very nice. It's Exodus for me because of Drew. Exodus for me because of Drew too, yes, but also because it just seems it's so strange and weird, and the like, I love the world building, and it feels so alien, right? It's like this perfect mix between The Expanse and Mass Effect. You know, it has this realistic take, but it's still like sci-fi with aliens, albeit with aliens that aren't extraterrestrial in origin. Everything is like terrestrial from Earth, but like they've developed in such a way that everything is like super alien. So I think that's what kind of makes me hyped about Exodus. Everything's just so strange. Here's another screenshot of him shooting a laser. I think this is like their main gun we're going to be using. In any case, it looks pretty polished, liking it. Here we get another angle of this shot in the trailer, where June is talking to a, I don't know if this is the K, because there is a race of, there's a servant race, essentially. No, they're not servants, by the way, now that I remember, no. But they're like a created race of super frogs. So I wonder if that's those. I don't think it is, I don't think it is, but it could be. Then we see this guy. What was interesting is when you look at the trailer, you see these two arguing, and for a moment there I thought that this guy was going to be like Gideon. Gideon is June's brother, so the character you'll be playing, June, has a brother. So either if you're male or female, you know, you can decide. You will have a brother named Gideon, and I think this is Gideon. But strangely enough, they seem to be like conversing and talking. So, Good morning, Mystic. How you doing? Welcome. Exodus versus Mass Effect. Right now, I would say Exodus because they're untested, right? Archetype Entertainment. They're like we're in uncharted waters here, essentially. But we have a bunch of OG Bioware crew that made the best Bioware games, so it makes me very hopeful. So I'd say that. For now, we got another shot at the live stone here. Really cool. I'm loving the particle effects and everything. It just looks so clean and also so sci-fi, right? Damn, that's a really good shot. Will Exodus is my vote over Expanse right now because they have Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, very true. He has been really picky about his roles as of late, and also like it fits perfectly, right? Because he was in Interstellar, a movie about time dilation, and then we have a game about time dilation. So I mean, it's just, you know, fits like a glove. This one is from the trailer. I don't think we see anything new here. No. Now this is our first shot of the Archivir. That's awesome because we've only seen these guys in concept art, and the Archivir are a slave race, essentially. They are workers. So the Celestials, you know, the godlike aliens up in the sky, or well, the godlike aliens or godlike human aliens, they created these guys to be like workers. So they're like almost like the Krogan, like they're really tough, powerful, but like they're not warlike, but they can definitely kill you if they want to. It's just, you know, they're workers and they seem pretty docile. So this is interesting. Like, I wonder what they're holding here. I like that we actually get a good shot at them. They look so, I don't know, I just love their design, man. Just jaggy. Yeah, and they look huge, like big yetis. Like, yeah, that's kind of the feel I get, right? Like yetis. Sasquatches. Hope it runs well, given how most UE5 games run like trash, too much over-reliance on DLSS. Hopefully, yeah. But I think they know that, you know. I think the first games we've seen with Unreal Engine 5 this generation has been like a lot of tests, right? Like a lot of people that just wanted to get their games out, but and there's like very few and far between of games that have actually been really good in Unreal Engine 5. But I do think that they're gonna pull this off because it looks really polished. They've taken their time, obviously, as well. And also we have Wizards of the Coast that's just throwing money at them, so it's probably gonna be polished out the wazoo. I really hope it will. I like the horror stuff like those Mariyama. Oh yeah, they're fucking amazing. But look at this thing. Look at this. We find... Oh my god, that looks so good. I'm gonna move myself. Okay, I'm not a furry, guys. But damn, it's cool to see, like, this is like a gigantic werewolf type. I didn't know that the wolves were this big. And this is apparently an awakened wolf. So this guy can speak. This guy can talk. They look like, yeah, they can, yeah, awakened wolves. This guy can talk. I'm looking forward to how that's gonna work. That's gonna be really interesting. Awakened wolves, yeah. Better pet that dog, yeah. Man, so fluffy, look at it. And he's like, he has a little pouch here to the right as well. I love it. I love it. I love that he's huge. I hope that the wolves are like this big, generally speaking, in the game. Because, like, apparently, like, I think that's June. It looks like he's just talking with the wolf, right? Man, I like it. Man, I like it. God damn. Uplifted, yes, exactly. So what that means, if you're wondering, like, what the hell is an awakened? It's uplifted. Like, they've essentially made animals super intelligent, sometimes more intelligent than humans. So it's like, you know, you're gonna encounter animals that are still animals, and they move around like animals, but they're, you know, they're either gigantic, super smart, sometimes both at the same time. There's literally awakened octopuses that can grow to the size of krakens, like massive, massive, massive octopus creatures that are super intelligent as well. And they work really strangely. So there's so much cool stuff in this game, and it's like, oh my god, you can, I mean, look at the fur. I bet that fur sways, right? I bet that fur moves around. I mean, look at the bear in the trailer. That bear looked all real fuzzy. God damn it. Will Exodus be coming to Xbox One, or will this be one of... will this need to be one of those I need to wait to get a new system to play? No, that's definitely most likely coming to the current Xbox. Like the current generation, yeah. Because the game is slated for release next year. And why we're seeing these, I would assume, is because we're closer to the release date than we think. I think so. Just got the email that you can wishlist Exodus now. Look at that. Valio Woe, thank you for that information. You can wishlist the game now, which means we're probably getting close, guys. We're getting close. Yes. This is what we're gonna be playing. This is the game I will be creating such an amount of content for if it turns out to be good. I want to give that disclaimer. If this game turns out to be what we want it to be, like this amazing new sci-fi universe that, you know, has the elements we want, like the choices, real role-playing, real romance, adult themes, it's a mature game, good gameplay. If it has all those things and good writing, good characters, I will be covering the fuck out of this game. So if you have not subscribed, I think everybody who's watching this stream has actually subscribed. So, but if you're watching this afterwards, subscribe, because this will be the main channel for your Exodus content. Let's just say that, okay? I wish it would come out in January, February. It's possible. I think it's going to be like in April. I'm guessing like early spring, somewhere around there. A couple of months before GTA, I think, you know, giving them like a window of 1 or 2 months so people can create a connection with the game. I think that's a good idea. We're going to move on to the next image here. Okay, let's go. Ooh, baby. Look at that. Oh, yeah. We got another shot of the ship. And this is apparently the ship will be flying around in. I love the little like ball here. You you know, where we sit as a pilot, I guess. I wonder if we're actually going to fly the thing. That's the big question. Are we just going to have some Joker character control the ship, or are we going to actually fly the ship? If we're going to fly the ship, that's going to be fucking crazy. I mean, technically, maybe we're not flying the ship. Maybe just June flies the ship, but we just, you know, we just select where to go and June sits in the cockpit. You need the cockpit. Raggedy Greg, you're subscribed. Nice. Good job. Probably Joker character. Yeah, possibly. Nice haircut. Thank you, Quintus. Welcome. Welcome. I told you I would stream this week. Did we get all the screenshots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not the right one. Wait. Did I miss something? Yeah, I think we got everyone. Yeah, we got all the screenshots, except this one. This one is really interesting. We got our first look at the header. The header over here. This is the new header. That is obviously a Celestial. This. I wonder what Celestial, though. Then we have June over here. That seems to be Elise, and this is the new character, the blonde character. This blonde character, I'm guessing, is going to be in our squad. So I'm going to be romancing her. I'm going to be romancing the blonde chick. I gotta check something. Okay? Let's go to Twitter and see what they're saying. Exodus. Oh, mama. Okay, they updated. Oh my God, they're doing the thing, guys. They're doing the thing. Okay, I gotta show you. So they're doing this. Okay, so they changed the thing here, like their logo, and they also changed the header over here. Oh, that's even bigger. Cool. But they also did this thing. You know, the Mass Effect thing that they did for N7 Day? File RECV Exodus Key Art Official status, new anomalies detected, community interpretation processing. You can now officially wishlist. Okay, that's that's pretty goofy of them, but you know, maybe they're just putting the respect on Mass Effect. Oh, would you look at that? This is even more high quality. God damn. Look at this. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, this is definitely kind of a reference to Mass Effect. It has to be. Community interpretation processing status, new anomalies detected. Yeah, it's definitely like a Mass Effect teaser, I think. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, so she has white eyebrows. There's a squid in there. Why is there a squid in a suit of armor for the official art? This has gotta mean that this character is important. Don't fucking tell me that one of... No way, bro. Let's... Okay. Scott Willems with the 26 months. Thank you for the support, man. Appreciate it. Mr. Alton is my favorite YouTuber on the Citadel. Damn right. This is probably him. Right over here. The coming soon character. Right over... Oh, that direction. Where am I pointing? There? Yeah, you see this one where I hold the mouse? That's probably our like 5th companion so far. This one is a Deva. This is a guy who appears in the concept art book, the art book. This is probably the white-haired girl over here. Yeah, that's got to be her. We've seen other shots of her in the trailer. She looks miles better in the trailer, though. She actually is pretty cute in the trailer, but I don't know. She looks like a bit, you know, a little bit odd here, but goddamn, an octopus? God, she's a witcher, yeah, pretty much. That's why she has white hair. She's a witcher, but what the hell? Yeah, this is the octopus, man. That seems like the ordnance thing goes here and here, where they like swapped around the pieces or something. Yeah, that's gotta be him. What the hell, man? Octopusy? God damn it, a lot of you guys are gonna be real horny with this. It's like, are you serious? It's an octopus. So many of you are gonna turn into, what's his name again? The guy in The Boys, you know? The guy who, you know, does the deed with the fishes. The Deep, thank you, exactly. We have a bunch of The Deeps over here in chat. God damn. God damn. I hope to God that they do that just for the sake of memes, you know? Like with what happened with Baldur's Gate and the whole bear scene, right? God, I hope they do. That would be so crazy. I would be laughing my ass off if that happens. I will love it though. It's gonna be one of those things where like you can romance a squid. Are you fucking serious? Liara's ancestor. There we go. It's a prequel to Mass Effect. There we go. How you doing, Elvin? Like the scene from The Boys? Exactly. We're getting it. We're getting a game version of some very intense scenes from The Boys. You will love it. I will love the fan reaction to it. I'm still, you know, I still prefer humans. But you know, they are super intelligent animals that can make their own choices. God damn it. This game is gonna, oh my god. Yeah, this is gonna ruffle some feathers. I am so sure. This is gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. But it's, you know, it's gotta, you know. That's how you make it in today's industry. If you ruffle some feathers and you make people go, you can do what? That's an instant, like that's the secret ingredient to success in gaming, is when you tell somebody that you can do this thing in an RPG, where people are gonna be like, you can, huh? And they're losing their minds. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's a shapeshifter? Nah, bro, it's just an awakened squid. It's just a very smart octopus. Give one degen option and it will sell. Yes, it will sell like hotcakes. It doesn't matter what type of degen stuff it is, because every game has their own version of degen. I mean, Stellar Blade, obviously, it just, you know, that's, you know, as much as I love the gameplay and the game itself, I mean, Eve, then we have Baldur's Gate with the bears and the sex with everybody else. It's, you know, it's one of those ingredients. When you have that and you push it, people are gonna buy it like hotcakes. It's gonna sell. It's gonna go off the shelves, man. A Raggedy Greg interspecies erotica. Ugh. I'm not. Ew, but it's just. But sure, for the sake of pushing the envelope, let's fucking go. Let's do it. It's not my thing, but let's fucking go. Let's do it. There's a Q&A video out on their channel right now. Really? Is it a new one? Squid Best Romance? I would bet that's going to be the case. Squid Best Romance. Exodus. Romance and Ent. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's do this. I still have like a half an hour to kill. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna react to their latest Q&A. We're gonna watch this together because I haven't seen it. They have a new Q&A. This is gonna be really interesting, guys. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna make myself small here. Oh, and that's not the right one. Okay. 4K. Let's go, baby. Are you guys ready? I hope you guys are ready, because we're gonna blow this bitch out the water, or the wazoo, or whatever. I'm just gonna change my my filter here. Right. Harvos, how you doing? Welcome in. What's up? Watched it already? Pretty good video. Okay, Scott, thank you. Let's go. Let's watch it together. Let's watch it. Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Founders Q&A. You've been sending us some amazing questions and we're excited to get answers to all of them for you. I've got a new guest to share with you to help answer those questions that you've sent in. Chris, can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do at Archetype?
Hey y'all, I'm Chris King. I'm the game director on Exodus. Super excited to answer some of your questions today.
Nice. What are your favorite games that inspire you?
Obviously, one that comes up all the time is Mass Effect. We obviously share some DNA. The epic space opera, the mega choices that carry over from game to game. Combat.
He said it. We've been waiting for them to say it. I've been on the edge of my seat. I'm like, come on, guys, just say that you're inspired by Mass Effect. You obviously are. It's, you know, I don't want this to be a copy of Massive, but it's like obvious. I mean, listen to the background music. He said it. He goddamn said it. Arun, welcome in.
We have a lot of stuff come up. Mass Effect. Horizon is probably another one that we've drawn some inspiration from.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Horizon, there was, without revealing too much, there's some pieces that Chris and the team have pulled in that we think sort of that elemental aspect of combat where you've got to make decisions based on the construction of the things that you're fighting.
No way. Okay, so what they're saying is that they're a little bit inspired by Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West in the gameplay. That's cool because the gameplay in Horizon is pretty sweet. You know, the way that you have to disable certain parts of the various, like, dinosaur mechs that you kill. Like, you have to destroy certain things to deactivate them and stuff. Oh, I like that. It's like, it's a sort of puzzle element to killing your enemies. I like it. Like a hunting puzzle.
And be smart about the tools that you use against it. There's some cool things that we think we've pulled in from that.
One of the ones I reference a lot of times is Metroid or Metroid Prime. One of the things that really resonates is just like the exploration, hopping on a spaceship, kind of being out in the middle of nowhere. I kind of like the loneliness in that game. It just makes the environments really interesting. Probably one of the other ones we can do a little tease on there is we have a lot of barriers or things, obstacles, I guess I'll call them, that you run around in the world and that you need sort of celestial tech or abilities and whatnot to get past. So I think that's a great inspiration.
Puzzles. We're gonna get a bunch of puzzles. Really cool. I hope they are relatively difficult. Not always, but you know, that you have to think and do stuff to get through them. Also sounds like we're gonna have more exploration than we thought, because I was of this idea that this was gonna be a very linear game, but it sounds like we're gonna have some exploration going on. Oh yeah. Oh baby, let's go. I hate thinking.
This is actually kind of a hard one to answer because we have so many different tools and we've drawn inspiration from so many different places. One of the things we honed in early on was kind of this notion of if you're going into space, there's only so much stuff you can take with you. So one of the things we kind of dug into was like, what is a traveler's Swiss Army knife? It's kind of the same notion of like, how could you sort of have this level of utility if you're traveling in space?
Livestone.
So there's a bunch of cool ideas, and I think when you play the game, you'll sort of see how that manifests. But probably one of the coolest ones that I think we came up was the Recycler. So this is the base gun that salvagers use. You can kind of scavenge. And the whole notion of this thing is you don't need to carry a bunch of ammo. It's sort of like the flux capacitor from Back to the Future. You know, you can kind of pick up any scrap material, slap it in there, and it'll craft different resources. And then we kind of riffed on that of like, well, what if this thing transformed too? So now I've just got one gun that does everything. So I think that's...
Okay, that's badass. I love that. A transforming gun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like it because you can already see like he uses crossbows and a grenade launcher. He switches to a plasma rifle. I mean, and he said the base gun, so we're probably going to get more weapons aside from that, but it's like really cool to have like a base weapon that can transform a bunch. That's really cool.
A really good example of where we kind of use like this really weird inspiration of a Swiss Army knife and tried to come up with this cool way to sort of contextualize that in our sci-fi universe.
Love it. Could you discuss what part stealth plays outside of boss fights?
Yes, we do support stealth. Philosophically,
will it be possible to stealth through the entire game is what the question was.
One of the things we love about RPGs is it's all about making really meaningful player choices, and so that extends into combat and gameplay as well. The hope, if we've done our jobs well, is let's say Chad and I go home and we both play the game. I might come back and I say, hey, I defeated this encounter and I went through all stealthy style, and Chad might go, what? I shot everyone in the face or whatever. And then you might have a third person that says, I didn't even engage in the combat because I talked to this other guy and it didn't happen or whatever. So those are the kind of water cooler moments we're going for. We're trying to support
That's what one sees.
Styles. Yes, we support stealth. We have a couple companions dedicated to stealth. We have a whole bunch of cool toys in the player kit dedicated to stealth. We have really cool Aegis suits dedicated to stealth. But at the end of the day, if you're not into stealth, you don't really have to partake in any of that stuff. It's all optional.
I'm definitely going to go stealth because I always was one of those, I always play, like, generally speaking, whenever I played Mass Effect back in the day, at least, I always picked Infiltrator because I just like going invisible and sniping, sniping enemies in the face, just going silently through most missions and demolishing all the opposition just through being stealthy. Now, I do hope that there's like finishers here. You guys know how much I love finishers, like, assassination takedowns. I hope that stuff is in this game because I love that kind of stuff. Where you can go like completely quiet, completely like Ghost Recon, something like that.
Optional.
Gives me Dishonored vibes. Yeah. So far, celestial remnants have been framed as being able to save humanity. Will the game explore whether those relics are dangerous or morally questionable to use? Yeah, because some of these, I don't know if I covered. No, I didn't cover them in my lore video. But in the book, you see like some crazy technology. There's like literally a nightmare machine that takes the worst thing you can personally imagine, and it recreates that thing in front of you. So like your worst nightmare, like an amalgamation of the worst fears that you have, is just going to appear in front of you and chase you. And as soon as you die, that thing just kind of loses all its meaning, and it's just existing for no reason. So it's really crazy stuff that you can find in the game, or like these celestial technologies that nobody really is sure what they're supposed to be for, but they exist. Why? Beats me, or beats anyone, actually.
Yeah, the core of the game is one of the cores of the game is built around pursuing ancient celestial technology, what we call remnants. And yeah, June's seeking these out throughout the game to help her save her homeworld. And she's gonna have to make some tough decisions with them. So the morally questionable.
June can be male or female. Chad and Chris will switch between pronouns in their answers because of this. There you go. You don't have to play as a guy just because we see the guy.
Aspect of the question is a really relevant one, but it's more about how she uses them and who she uses them with versus the actual technology themselves. Yeah, so there is a bit of moral complexity with remnants, but in most cases it's less about the technology and more about June's choices as it relates to their outcomes and the way that she wants to leverage them in the play experience.
We've tried to make the choices of what you do with them really, really complicated. So when we talk about these weighty choices that have like huge consequences, these are the biggest decider for that. So a lot of times you're not just weighing the morality of the choice, you're also weighing what the companions want you to do with them, and they don't agree on these things. You're weighing what the best way you want to progress humanity hundreds of years into the future is.
Thank God that your companions can disagree and tell you, no, that's not the right choice, where you can have like these discussions with your squad mates. I hope that there can actually be like cases of fallout and where they actually leave you in case you do something that they don't agree with. I really hope that's a thing. It really sounds like that's a thing. It makes me even more excited, man.
But the people might not like some of those things, so these are really, really complicated choices. They're kind of those like put the controller down and sort of ponder what you're going to do a little bit.
Let's go.
All right, so rapid fire, just one. You only get one shot. Name your favorite remnant, but you can't talk about what it is. Just say the title of it.
Relativistic Predator.
Oh, you pronounced it so perfectly, too.
Relativistic what?
So good. All right, I get two because I asked the question. So Protomatter for sure. Once you play the game, you'll understand that one. The second, though, is Hell of Liquid Walls.
Nice choice. Nice.
What is Hell of a Liquid Walls? Did he say that? Because I know what the proto thing is. It's like it's a thing that can essentially build anything, really. Like when you use it, it can construct it can construct an entire city, essentially, like a building block or something like that, if you just wanted to. I think if you guys have seen like Dan Da Dan, essentially what they do there, you know, the anime series, is that, you know, they use the thing and you just think of the thing and it becomes the thing. Really cool stuff. The Expanse, does the Expanse have that as well? I think so, right? How grounded or relatable is June
He
as a
comes from
character?
humble beginnings, like we've talked about, but I think an interesting aspect of that is just not really understanding the depth of his power or how crucial he's going to be to humanity's future and the fate of humanity. Throughout the game, you're going to uncover the reasons behind June's extraordinary abilities. So there's definitely an unsuspecting hero element to his personality that goes with that. And like many leading characters that find themselves on this kind of hero's journey, her abilities and confidence are going to evolve as she ventures along in the game. We like to think June never loses her humanity and the flaws that make her relatable. And so ultimately, we really want that to resonate with players as being somebody that they want to be as a player and can represent them in the game.
Cool. How do you want players to feel during combat? Are fights meant to be strategic, cinematic, or something else? Probably a mix.
I think all of those things. We want
Yeah.
it to feel cinematic. We want it to feel really strategic. Maybe taking a step back, one of the inspirations we sort of talked about that we mimicked in our combat loop was, you know, if you look at your favorite sci-fi movies, they kind of have this like infiltration trope. You're kind of always fighting against these enormous odds, so you can't just engage the enemy head on. If you think about in like Star Wars, Luke Skywalker's kind of hiding around when he's trying to rescue Princess Leia. They're wading through garbage. They're you know, dressed up as stormtroopers at one point. If you sort of think about that trope and then you sort of map it out, it sort of equates to like this observe, plan, execute, and then what we jokingly refer to as the oh shit moment, you know? So you sort of scope things out and you plot this great, glorious way you're going to go about solving the puzzle. And then inevitably you start executing it and someone spots you, and then that's when sort of you have to improvise or
Shit
whatnot.
hits the
That's sort of
fan.
the model we use for combat. Not every encounter you play in the game is going to play out like that. But we really love that notion of like leaning into the player choice and some agency and how you do things, and just kind of like the spectacle of it as well.
I love how authentic they are, no hype. Yet they feel like this guy especially, like I love Chad here too, but the director, keep forgetting his name. I'm gonna learn it soon enough, as much as, you know, as I keep talking about the game. He seems to be like very transparent with what, like, you know, what his inspirations are. Like he's name dropping left and right, and it's like, this is really cool because it really gives like an insight of how they're thinking when they're building the game. It's not just a bunch of, you know, advanced terms and trying to describe something in detail in a very like roundabout way. They're literally just saying, oh, Star Wars, Mass Effect, and this, yada, yada, yada. It's like he's very easy to follow when he's describing these things. They're high, lol. Yeah, I paused at a unfortunate moment. It would be crushing if you choose a character to leave behind and they fail in their task to push humanity forward. I do think that's going to be a thing that can happen, Bingo. It sounds like it's going to be, because they've talked about that before.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that aspect of combat being another expression of player choice, and the things Chris was just referring to with what the team has built, like the tools and the elements that you have to solve some of these encounters that you're going to discover in the game, we think are going to give you a lot of choice as a player, and we want players to have ownership of that and feel good in that tension over like, how do I solve this one? How do I want to approach this one? And just give them their choice and treat each encounter as if it's their own.
Can we talk about the enemy variety will evolve through the game? Let's go.
Yeah, I guess we've talked about this a little bit in some of the other questions today, but so when you start playing, you know, you're kind of fighting more basic enemies. You're on Leiden, it's more human factions. We do have this concept of celestial constructs. I don't know if we've talked about it before on these, but these are celestial robots that have been left behind to sort of defend technology. So
Right.
at the start of the game, though, before you get your spaceship, that's kind of the primary factions you're fighting and the technology you're up against. Once you get your spaceship and travel into space, though, the further out you go, the more dangerous and progressively more deadly the enemies get.
We've also talked a bit about
Scaling.
the rot in the game, and just a quick recap for those who haven't followed along previously. The rot is this sort of unseen force that's affecting technology on your home planet and ultimately corrupting sort of the terraforming engines that are making Leiden a habitable place for humans. And so trying to develop an understanding of how the rot affects humanity and planets and everything in the universe is a key part of the story, but it also affects our enemies.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds like dark energy, suspiciously like something that dark energy would do. If you think about like the dark energy plot, is how, you know, it affects technology and destroys it or ruins it. So, but this seems more like direct, or like in Mass Effect Andromeda, you know, with the what's that called, the energy clouds, the dark energy clouds over there too, right? It like it interacts with technology and destroys it and changes the technology. They told me enough to get me interested. Word from Mass Effect, but this looks promising. Yeah, I get you. This does look very promising. How's it going, Vulcan?
Basically, the
Scourge,
rot's
yeah,
sort of
Scourge,
corrupting
exactly.
everything. It's destroying the technology that's keeping Leiden alive. So when you go on Exoduses and come back, this is something that basically corrupts all the celestial constructs that I was sort of alluding to. And so suddenly those become much more dangerous, more aggressive, and that just keeps ratcheting up as time goes on.
Nice. So essentially, like the more you progress through the game, you're gonna see like an even worse and worse and worse effect of this thing, like, or this rot affecting technology and making it like more dangerous and more volatile. I like that a lot because it like introduces this risk. It's again like this idea of a ticking time bomb. Like, how much do you have? How are you approaching side quests in Exodus? Are they a big part of the game? I hope so.
Side quests in Exodus are not filler content. They're critical to us for a bunch of reasons. Ultimately, to deliver on our story goals for the game, we think side quests are a really key part of that. We use them to help players feel connected to the universe, help develop relationships with their companions, buff up their skills, and of course, to find some cool shit when they're out exploring in the world.
The reason I
love it. They actually fill a purpose. They're not just side quests for the sake of filler content. Thank God.
love the side quests is there may be threads, stories, companion characters that not all players resonate with. So it gives another avenue of, you know, if you want to learn more about this thing, if you want to really opt in and upgrade some of your tools, if you really like this one companion, you can kind of help them out a bit deeper. So I think that's why I enjoy our side quests.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately as a role-playing game, we value that kind of depth that you can explore and dive into deeper to get more lore, more cool stuff, all the things that you want to find in a game of some depth as an RPG.
Love that he mentioned lore. That's my game, man. That's what I do. It's lore.
Gee.
Very special announcement from our founders.
So one of our most asked questions, when can I wishlist Exodus?
Today.
Guess what? I'm finally get to answer this question today. I'm thrilled to say that you can wishlist Exodus now on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Game Store. In addition to that, if you go to one of those sites, you're going to see some new key art and some new exciting stuff that reveals game screenshots and other cool things about the game. So please go wishlist Exodus now.
Let's go.
Thanks for all the great questions, everyone. We've been super heads down making something amazing. We've been busting our butts. We're super excited to share it with you. This has been super motivating for me. Thanks for having me on here, Chad.
We've also had a lot of other questions come in, particularly about gameplay, release date. We're eager to share more of what we're doing, and you can look for more news and updates later this year. Thanks again for connecting.
Later
We've enjoyed our
this
session
year,
with you
huh?
today, and we hope you appreciated
Well-
our answers. Talk to you all again soon.
There's only 2 months left, so I'm guessing we're gonna get more stuff at the awards, the Game Awards. We're probably gonna get a reveal trailer. He mentioned the release date, and they zoomed in on his face, so we're probably gonna get the release date on the Game Awards trailer. I bet it. I bet we're gonna get the release trailer. If it's the release like the release date trailer, we're probably gonna see like a release date. I think it's spring, early spring, like a month or two before GTA to clear the field. But then again, you know, if they say, oh, it's gonna be in August 2026, I don't think that's great to build up hype. I think giving it just a couple of months, like 3 or 4 months, that's probably the best way to go. Because sometimes if you like get a release date out and you say, oh, it's basically like 9 months from now, when it's smaller games, that has sometimes an effect of having the hype die down for a bit. And I think they really need to like rocket this game away as soon as possible. His face isn't tired. Very true. Yeah, go and wishlist the game, guys. I don't know if you have done that yet, but for sure go do that. And on the, it's out on every other store as well. But if you're on Steam, here you go. The link is in the chat. Go check it out. But man, yeah, this is looking good, man. I'm fucking hyped. I'm pumped for this game, for sure. They keep leading with these things that I consider some of the most important things when it comes to RPGs, like a heavy emphasis on choice and consequence, and the puzzle aspect of combat, where they talked about like the idea that it's kind of similar to the Horizon games in how you deal with enemies, where you have to like destroy certain things in order to, destroy it. So it has that puzzle element in both gameplay and surrounding the world. There's going to be exploration. Side quests are really important as well. They give you extra stuff, build up your companions, level you up, etc. But it's also like introducing lore that you might not find otherwise in the main game. So man, this is looking good, guys. For anybody who's jumped off the wagon for Mass Effect, welcome aboard Exodus, man. SS Exodus, here we go. Choo choo. We're going, man. This is the game. This is the game. This is the game next year. We're doing it. Are you playing BF6? I have not yet. I can't really afford it this month. I kind of have to, be a little bit careful with how I spend my money. So unfortunately not. I probably will at some point. Right now, though, I'm just completely in on these games. By the way, speaking of money, if you do want to support the channel, you could always become a Patreon member. And if you haven't already, then I'll send you the link right here. There we go. Go there. Become a Patreon, and you unlock a bunch of exclusive content that I don't upload here on YouTube. For example, I've started doing podcasts. Weird, right? Really strange, but I'm thinking I should cover a bunch of more stuff on, these podcasts. I have a ton of things I want to talk about, personally speaking. I love that your squad can disagree with you. It reminds me of KOTOR 2 influence system. Yeah, absolutely. That is one of those things that I look forward to as well. Like, I love the reactivity of squad mates. I really hope that they deliver on that, as well as a bunch of other things. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be off for today. Thank you for watching. Again, go wishlist the game, and let's all hope for the best. And don't forget to become a Patreon. Thank you, guys. Take care. Mistral.